Good morning, everybody. Travel Life Mama here, bringing you a review on our excursion that we did in Curacao. This was the ultimate Curacao beach and turtle snorkel with lunch. And you know I love bringing you guys these in-depth shore excursion reviews so that you are more informed before you put your money down and purchase this shore excursion. I'm going to show you everything it entails so you can make a better informed decision. Now, Curacao was the first of our stops in the ABC Islands. So for this port, there's a pier, so you don't have to take a tender or anything. As you can see, we were all lined up outside of the cruise ship based on what excursion we were in. There were a bunch of other excursions, so make sure you stay behind the line where your excursion is. And then our tour guide led us through the crowds to our bus that was waiting for us. This was a pretty nice coach. There was no bathrooms, I believe, on this coach, so just be aware of that. If you need to use the restroom, do it beforehand. And then we started our drive. Now, this was a lengthy drive. There was a lot of travel time in this excursion. So if that's something that you are not interested in, then might not be the excursion for you. But we did get to see a lot of the island, which was really nice. And as you can see in this video, the island is absolutely beautiful. This is my first time in Curacao. I haven't been here before. And the topography of this island is just gorgeous. There's so many lush green mountains and beautiful trees and a cactus. I didn't realize that there was so many cacti in Curacao. And you see there's a lot of cacti actually between Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. But anyway, so I think the drive to the first part of this excursion was about an hour. So yeah, it's a long drive to the first place that we stopped at. But again, the guide was very informative. She told us all about her island.
The sea level. For 60 million years it is on top. I love this because with this tour, I told you already, it is all about nature.
She answered everybody's questions and she was really entertaining. And I love learning about the places that I'm traveling to, so I don't mind a long travel day if I'm learning about the place that I'm visiting. So that was okay with me. And like I said, as you can see, the views out here are absolutely gorgeous. So our first stop was actually the main attraction for this whole tour, and that was the turtle snorkel. So this is a piece of warning for you guys. If you have mobility issues, if you are not able to do stairs, this is not the excursion for you. Both beaches we went to on this shore excursion, there was quite a bit of stairs that you had to do to get down to the beach. So if you can't do stairs, then maybe pick another excursion. But anyways, so we pulled up to the beach where we were going to be doing our turtle snorkel. It was not very many people. We just pulled into a parking lot. And once we got out there, we met our snorkeling guides who were not on the bus with us. They met us there where we were going to go with the turtles. And here they passed out the snorkel gear and they would help anybody who needed help putting on their snorkel gear or fitting it or anything like that. No fins allowed here. So if you bring your own snorkel gear, they do not allow you to wear fins around the turtles. So don't bring your fins with you for this part because you can't use them. So then we head down the stairs and there was nowhere to store any of our belongings. So you either left your belongings on the bus or our guide called it the rock. There was a large rock on the shore of the beach where you could put your belongings. So there was not a secure spot to put your belongings. So leave valuables on the bus. So there was really no briefing or anything. We kind of just went down to the beach and into the water. There were snorkel guides on the dock and there was a snorkel guide in the water. So if you needed assistance, all you needed to do was wave your hand and somebody would help you. And they were around just to make sure that everybody was okay. There was a sectioned off area that we needed to stay within. They didn't want us going past the boats. And it wasn't long before we saw our first turtle. There was a big chunker of a turtle who pretty much spent the whole time around there with us. You could see that they were feeding, putting some fish parts in the water to attract the turtles and the other fish. So that's why he was just hanging around, and that's probably why he was so chunky. One thing I noticed about this excursion is everybody's trying to get a view of the turtle, which made it very, very crowded. So if you don't like being in crowded water with other people, there's a lot of that going on in this excursion. But again, everybody wants a view of the turtle. Be respectful of the turtles when you do go on the excursion. Try not to touch them. They will get very close to you, as you can see in my video, that the turtles didn't know a sense of personal space, but I didn't try to get this close. He just kept getting this close to me. There was other turtles swimming around. There was a couple of smaller ones that we could swim with, but this big chunker was the main event, because he just stuck around the whole time pretty much. Also, you can see there was there's lots of fish to see. It was just beautiful, clear water. It was so clear. Then after people had been there for a while, it did start to get a little bit murkier, but it was still a great place to snorkel, be it a little crowded. Because here you're not just with your shore excursion group, this is also a public beach, so you're going to have other people here too. So another thing about this excursion is bring cash with you. Because in each spot that we went, except for one, you had to pay to use the bathrooms. I believe it was $1. So if you need to use the bathroom, you will have to pay. So make sure you have some cash with you. Also, you can see these showers here at the beach. Don't use those unless you're willing to pay. A couple of the people who were on our excursion did use the showers without paying. And the people who worked the beach actually came up to our tour bus and told our tour guide that you need to pay for every single person that used those showers. And then our tour guide had to go through the bus asking who used the showers and then pay for those people. So again, don't use these showers unless you're willing to pay for them. They are not free. So after the excursion, obviously we climbed back up the stairs, we turned in our snorkel gear, and we went on to our next location. Now this location, I'm not even going to try to say the name of this park. You can see in this sign what the name of it is, but this was a nice place where we were able to get off the bus and go for a walk and check out some of the rugged coastline that's in the north part of Curacao, where we can see the waves crashing up against the coast. Some spots were coming up, kind of creating like a blowhole, not as much of a blowhole as some other places, but it was still absolutely beautiful. This was a fairly easy walk, but you did still need to climb up some stairs. Some like natural stairs to get up to the hiking path. Here the bathrooms were free, so you were able to use the bathrooms here at the park. So you can see it's just a beautiful walk, just a nice place to see the coastline. Really, there's not much else here though. It's pretty flat, sparse. There is a beautiful backdrop of the mountains though, and some of the cacti, and it's really nice to see. And also here we were able to take the cave trail. So you can see the cave trail. I don't recommend going down this trail by yourself. I actually had to hang on to my husband a couple of times because it's pretty treacherous to get down the trail. But if there's two of you, or get some friends, they can help you down the trail. So you were able to then go into this trail that brought us to a cave. As you can see here, it's a little bit of a climb to get down into the cave. Hang on to the rocks to help steady yourselves. And best to have shoes on, water shoes on if you're going in here. As you can see, people have lost flip-flops all over the place in the cave. So wear some closed sandals, no flip-flops. Closed or water shoes. Those are probably best for hiking. But it was nice to go into the cave and see the waves crashing through the cave, and it's obviously a great picture. So after the cave, there's a little outlook boardwalk that you can go to look out to get a little bit closer to the waves crashing into the crevice here, but still being safe. And then we hiked out. And I mean hiked out. It was like a 5-minute walk. It wasn't a long walk at all. So that was, I really enjoyed that part of the excursion. I also see here by the bathrooms, you can see the picnic tables and things. We didn't have too much time here. So just beware when the tour guide says this much time. Be respectful of how much time she says you have, because some people were running a little late, and then that makes the tour run late, and then that's making everybody else run late. So don't do that. So when we got out from there, this is where they started to serve lunch. So they had a big cooler full of pops and sodas, if you're not Canadian, pops and water that you could have. And then on the bus, they gave us some chicken wraps. I mean, it wasn't a fancy lunch, but it was good and it hit the spot. And I was fine with it. It was better than nothing, because up until our last stop, there really wasn't very many places to stop to get food. So after the park, it was probably another 20 minutes or so to get to our next stop, which was just an absolutely beautiful natural beach. It was so pretty. When we pulled up, you could see that there's kind of like an overlooking the whole beach, and the color of the water is just unreal. Like, I can't even imagine. I can't believe nature can create these colors. It was just absolutely beautiful. Again, a little bit of a crowded place because this is a public beach, so there were lots of people there. Not just people on tours, but just people in Curacao enjoying the day. Here you can see there are places that you can pay for drinks. And there was places that you can get food. And also there were bathrooms here, but you did have to pay for those as well. I'll take you for a walk around where the bathrooms are. And there's kind of like a little courtyard area that has places to sit and eat and use the bathroom and get drinks and stuff like that. And this beach, the beach chairs at this beach are not free. You did have to pay for them if you wanted to use them. I'm cheap. So all I did was put my towel down on the sand and sit on that. But this isn't nice sand. This is a natural beach. So it is full of big pieces of coral that have washed up on the beach. It's not just like powdery sand like you would get at Half Moon Cay. This is a natural beach, so it's not the most comfortable just lying your towel down, but I planned on being in the water the majority of the time anyway, so I really didn't care what my seat was like on the beach. And the water in here was it was a little difficult to get through. Some of the elderly people, we were on Holiday America, so there were a lot of elderly people, were having a little bit of trouble walking across the rocks to get into the water. Highly recommend wearing water shoes. Definitely have water shoes on. It will help you immensely walking through the rocks and the coral. But once you got past the first part of rocks, it was actually pretty nice sand, and the water was just so turquoise blue and beautiful and warm, and it was just a perfect water to be swimming in, especially with the view. There are cliffs all around on either sides that some people were actually jumping off of. I don't recommend that, but people were jumping off of them, and it was just a gorgeous, relaxing beach. We did get hit with a little bit of a downpour, which was fine because I was already in the water anyway, so what do I care if it's pouring because I'm already wet. But everybody's belongings got soaked because, again, there was nowhere to put your belongings here. It was on your chair or it was on your towel. So if you were with a partner, maybe switch off being in the water, or if you both want to be in the water together, I would highly recommend getting a dry bag or something to put your valuables in so you can have it in the water with you, and then you don't have to worry about it. I wouldn't leave your valuables on the beach. So we were able to stay here it was probably about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and then we had to go back. So you see here there are stairs, and then there was like a boat ramp that you could go up. So if you wanted to use the ramp, you could. I wouldn't recommend taking a wheelchair down that ramp because it was super steep. So not the best for mobility. I think it's more of a boat ramp. But it was available there. Right at the top of the ramp, there was a nice little trail that you could go through some of the foliage and plants and stuff that are there, which were all beautiful. There were butterflies flying everywhere and lots of birds, and it was just a really pretty place. And we all headed back to I forgot to tell you guys. Part of our lunch was they gave everybody Pringles, little Pringle canisters before we got to this beach, so everybody had their Pringles as well. And then we all headed back to the bus. And I think after that, it was like a 25-minute ride back to the port area. And they gave us cookies as our final part of our lunch, like little coconut flavored island cookies. They were really good. So all in all, this excursion, I believe, was about 5.5, 6 hours with all the travel time. And I really enjoyed it. Any time that I can get to spend in the water snorkeling and get to see sea turtles, obviously I am going to enjoy. But if you don't enjoy an excursion with a lot of travel time, again, this excursion had a lot of that. You only get small points in each area, and then the most of it is travel time. So that's just something to think about before you book this tour. And we were in port in Curacao for many hours. I think we docked in Curacao at like 7 a.m. and we were there until 10:30 at night. So we were there all day. So it was nice because, yes, this excursion was 6 hours, but that still gave you plenty of time to come back, get changed, get showered off, and then head back out to enjoy Curacao. Go have a nice lunch, go watch sunset out on the beach, go take a sunset tour. Some people who were on our turtle snorkel had actually booked sunset catamaran tours for afterwards because we had so much time in Curacao that day. So as long as your itinerary, like ours on Holland America on the Eurodam, if you're there for a long time, 6 hours still gives you plenty of time to explore Curacao afterwards. So the price of this excursion, I believe, was about $114 per person. But because we had Have It All with our Holland America cruise, we didn't pay for it because we received $400 of shore excursion credit. I highly recommend, if you're cruising Holland America, to get the Have It All package because it's such a good value for your money. And you know what? I probably wouldn't have done this excursion if I didn't have that. So that is my review of the ultimate Curacao Turtle and Beach Snorkel with Lunch. So like I said, I love doing these shore excursion reviews for you guys so you can make informed decisions before you purchase. And as a vacation consultant, I want to make sure that all of my clients are informed before they spend their money. And I try to do that on every vacation that I help my clients plan. So if you're interested in traveling, particularly in cruising, feel free to reach out to me and I can help you plan your next super fun cruise vacation. All of my information is in my bio. You can hit me up on my website where you can email me and we can get started on building your cruise vacation. But in the meantime, I will see you guys in the next review. I think next video will probably be my review on the glass bottom boat tour in Bonaire. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.